You guys are amazing. Just wanted to say that. But anyway, I have a question. Why have you guys subscribed to the channel? I'm curious. And more so, what is your favorite part about the channel? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, let's get into today's episode. Alright, so a quick recap on the last two parts. Part 1, we met Iris, a little girl adopted by Drayden, the gym leader of the Absolute City Gym. After discovering that Iris was the chosen partner of the special egg that had been in the care of the village elder for 10 years, Iris and her ex-drill set out on a journey of their own at the advice of Drayden. Along the way, she caught a dino that later evolved into a Zoelius, a Darumaka, and resurrected the fossil Pokemon Tirtouga, and then had Silent, one of the gym leaders of the Striaton Gym, join her on the quest and earn 4 out of 8 of the gym badges required to challenge the Unova League. But, unfortunately, her journey wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Iris also met the evil Team Plasma, their leader Getsus, and his personal bodyguard, the Shadow Triad, as well as a mysterious young man named N, who talks of liberating Pokemon from all humans. Now, let's see what the next leg of her adventure has in store for her. We pick up with Iris and Silent arriving in Driftville City. The two head to the Pokemon Center, and the next day, Iris and Silent head to the Driftville Gym. Once there, they meet Clay, the Driftville City gym leader. He tells Iris that he seeks a match of power. Iris is intimidated by Clay and his overwhelming presence and personality. Their battle will be a 3-on-3. Clay and her head down to the gym, a deep shaft underground, and take their positions. Clay sends in his Stunfisk. This is a lucky break, and Iris thinks. Traveling with Silent and his Stunfisk, she has had a lot of experience battling one. She knows who to go with. She sends in Excadrill. The battle gets fierce, but Excadrill is able to put down Stunfisk with a drill run. Clay tells Iris this is the battle that he was talking about. Clay sends in his own Excadrill. Iris, with her overconfidence, chooses to leave in her Excadrill. The two drill Pokemon go hand in hand, the battle with nothing but brute force. This type of battle isn't familiar to Iris, and it is getting to be too much. As a result, she starts making mistakes. Clay can see this and takes advantage. In the end, Iris's Excadrill falls to Clay's. This shakes her, but she moves forward and sends in Darumaka. Darumaka is able to cause damage, but in the end, it falls to Clay and his Excadrill. Iris is starting to doubt herself, but this is a gym battle, and she still has one more Pokemon. Iris then sends in Tirtouga. The battle between Excadrill and Tirtouga is one of power. Excadrill is clearly stronger, but it is growing tired. Iris commands a water pulse, but Excadrill cuts through it with a drill one that connects with full force, knocking Tirtouga back into the gym wall, causing some rocks to fall off, knocking it out. Iris rushes over to Tirtouga to check on it. She can't believe it. She lost so easily. She recalls Tirtouga, and as it fades back into the Pokeball, Iris notices something that was on the ground where Tirtouga was laying. It is another strange rock, not like the one that Tirtouga was revived on, but it has some of the same characteristics. Iris shows it to Clay, and he confirms that it is a fossil. He is not surprised that they are found quite often in his gym, as they are far underground from the surface. Iris thanks Clay for the gym battle and says she will be back after some much needed training. That night, at the Pokemon Center, Silent gets a call from the Striaton Gym. It's his brother Chili, saying that Cress is having problems, and he doesn't know how to get through to him. Chili pleads with Silent to return to the gym as soon as possible. Silent talks it over with Iris, and after a while, they decide to head back to Striaton City. On the way, they stop off in the Nakaran City to have Lenora look at the fossil, and sure enough, it is, and Iris gets it resurrected. She is now in possession of a newly revived Archon. On the way to Striaton City, Iris works with Archon and Tirtouga, as they are both fossil Pokemon, revived into modern times. Through this training, Tirtouga evolves into Caracosta, and boy is it powerful. It's gained the ability to stand on its hind legs, so it can use its arms to battle, although it has lost some speed due to its evolution. Iris and Silent eventually arrive back in the Striaton City, and after some disagreements the three brothers finally agree on something. They decide to close the gym. Not forever, but for now, until the brothers can finish their current commitments and give the gym the proper attention it needs. With this issue resolved, Iris and Silent return to Driftville City. Once the two arrive at the Pokemon Center, they are met with Clay. Iris tells Clay she has returned for her rematch. Clay tells her it will have to wait for a while. Iris asks why. Clay states a very dear friend of his has passed away recently. So he is here at the Pokemon Center trying to figure out what to do with his friend's Lampent. It was left behind. It is scared and refuses to leave the side of Clay. But Clay can't care for it, as it can't be inside the gym due to the massive coal deposits that are down there. Iris asks if she can see Lampent. She approaches Lampent. It is terrified and creates a whirlwind of psychic energy that defends itself. But Iris pushes through to Lampent, and once she makes contact with Lampent, all of its emotions flood into her. She can feel it, the feeling of fear, uncertainty, and anger. But Iris is able to break through to it and calm it down. After the situation is over, Lampent agrees to live at the Pokemon Center. Clay thanks Iris, telling her that they will have their battle first thing in the morning. The next day comes, and Iris and Clay square off. Their first battle is Excadrill versus Excadrill. The two go at it with full force. This is the battle Clay was wanting. But in the end, both Pokemon knock each other out. Clay then sends in his Stunfisk. Iris chooses to go with Zoelius. These two clash, but in the end, Zoelius is able to put down Stunfisk. Clay then chooses to send in Palpitoad, his final Pokemon. Clay's strategy is Recovery and Aqua Ring to stall out the battle, and Palpitoad is able to outlast Zoelius. Iris chooses in the end to go with Caracosta. The two water Pokemon go at it, but the use of Rollout and its strength increasing with every successful hit, Palpitoad falls, earning Iris the Quick Badge. Iris thanks Clay, and after clearing Team Plasma out from the cold storage to the south of Driftville City, Silent and Iris head out. Our duo then head to Chargestone Cave. Along the way, they see the Weather Institute being built. Once in Chargestone Cave, Silent has a lot of luck. His Dwebble evolves into Crustle, and in the process, he also catches a Joltik. But Iris also has some luck. Due to Team Plasma having activity in Chargestone Cave, Iris was able to catch a Ferroseed while protecting it from Team Plasma. The two of them arrive in Mistralton City, where Iris challenges the gym. The leader here is Miles. He's a well-known gym leader who has had a very successful career as a gym leader. Iris challenges him. During their battle, Silent watches alongside Miles' granddaughter, Skyla, who dreams of one day being a gym leader like her grandfather. The two trainers take their places, and Miles starts with Emolga. Iris goes with Excadrill. Due to the type advantage, Excadrill manages to take down Emolga, but Miles then sends in Swanna, and it is able to take down Excadrill with repeated water pulses. Iris then sends in Archon. Iris has been working with it and thinks it's ready. Though Archon puts up a valiant effort, it does fall to Swanna. Iris then chooses to send in Caracosta. The water rock type is able to put down Swanna with his newly learned move, Ancient Power. Miles then sends in his Braviary. The battle is very intense, but in the end, Braviary is unable to get through Caracosta's massive defense, and it falls to an Ancient Power, earning Iris the Jet Badge. Miles compliments Iris on the battle well fought. He then states that this will be his last year as a gym leader, as he is going to retire, and Skyla will be taking over. With that, Iris and Silent take their leave. After the two fight through Twist Mountain, and Iris's Archon evolves into Archeops, they arrive in Iciris City in the 7th gym badge. Iris and Silent head to the gym. Iris is introduced to Bryson, an up-and-coming movie star in the Unova region. He tells Iris she's lucky she arrived when she did, as he was about to head out Pokestar Studios and would be gone for several weeks. The two head inside the gym and get to work. Bryson starts off with his Cryogonal. Iris leads with Caracosta. The battle is one of endurance, but Cryogonal has more experience than Caracosta and manages to freeze it. Then it chips away at Caracosta, knocking it out. Iris then sends in Excadrill, and the Steel typing gives it just the edge it needs to take down Cryogonal with Hone Claws and a Metal Claw combo. Next, Bryson leads with Vanillix. Though it doesn't seem that intimidating, Iris finds out that it has speed with Hail in place and its ability Ice Body making it trouble, ultimately knocking out Excadrill. Iris has been on the receiving end all match, and she knows it. She then sends in Darumaka in hopes that its type advantage would give her the advantage she needs, and it works. Fire Punch is too much for Vanillix, and it is knocked out. This triggers Darumaka's evolution into Darmanitan. After using her Pokédex, she learns that Darmanitan's ability is Sheer Force, an ability that increases the power of moves at the cost of a secondary effect. Also, Darmanitan has learned a new move, Flare Blitz, but Bryson isn't worried as he sends in his final Pokemon, Baratic. This battle rocks the gym. Darmanitan and Baratic won't give in, but in the end, Iris uses Flare Blitz that manages to put down Baratic, earning her the Freeze Badge. After the battle, Bryson thanks Iris and then heads to leave for Pokestar Studio. The next day, Iris and Silent head north of Icera City to check out the Dragon Spiral Tower, but they are met with an unwelcome surprise. Team Plasma. The tower was supposed to be sealed forever, but they have broken through the wall and made a makeshift bridge to get inside. Iris and Silent head inside to clear out Team Plasma. At the top, Iris is met with N, but he is not alone. He is accompanied by the Shadow Triad and Ghetsis. But as Iris is trying to talk to N, something happens. A bright light and a white stone on the shrine behind him starts to glow and is growing in size. Then, there it stands. The legendary Pokemon, Reshiram. N tells Iris that he has been chosen. Reshiram only appears to those who seek truth and are firm in their beliefs. N tells Iris that she needs to stay away. He doesn't want to bring her harm, as she is different compared to others. Then, in order to escape, Ghetsis orders the Shadow Triad to attack Iris and Silent, which is successful. Once Iris and Silent make it outside of Dragon Spiral Tower, they are met with Looker. After telling him what happened and the resurrection of Reshiram, Looker voices concern about Team Plasma. They are getting dangerous. They then part ways, and Iris and Silent then head to Absolute City. It takes some time, but Iris and Silent make it to Absolute City. Ferrothorn evolved on the way. Iris is nervous because she will have to battle Drayden. She informs Silent of Drayden being her adopted grandfather and the last battle they had. Silent tells her not to worry. As long as she gives it her best, she will have nothing to regret. Upon arriving at the gym, Iris and Drayden meet. Drayden can tell Iris has become much stronger, and he wishes to test her strength. The two head inside, and the battle starts. It's a battle of both Drayden and Iris' Zuelius. The two Dragon-type Pokemon battle with extreme ferocity, but ultimately, Iris' Zuelius falls. Drayden tells her she will have to do better. She tells him, don't worry, she can do that, and sends in Darmanitan. With a hammer arm, it puts down Zuelius with no effort at all. This impresses Drayden, and he sends in his Druddigon. Darmanitan and Drudon get down to business, and the two have a knockdown, drag-out fight. Neither one will give any ground. In the end, a Flare Blitz takes down Druddigon, but the recoil knocks out Darmanitan. Drayden tells Iris that she will have to do way better than that. The odds are not in her favor. Iris reminds Drayden that he only has one Pokemon as well, and they both know which one they will be using as their last one. Drayden sends in Haxorus, and Iris sends in Excadrill. These two stare each other down. Excadrill is determined since it lost last time. The two get down to business, and it is clear Excadrill has grown since the last battle, but Haxorus still has a slight level advantage on it. This results in Excadrill taking more damage overall than Haxorus has. Drayden makes several attempts to end the battle, but Iris and Excadrill will not give in. It's to the point that it's becoming dangerous to continue the battle for both parties. Drayden realizes this, and in the end, he decides to concede to Iris. He recognizes her power and is deeply proud of his granddaughter, and presents her with the Legend Badge. Drayden warns Iris to keep in mind about her Pokemon in battle. Though she won, if she were to have continued, Excadrill could have been hurt badly. Iris takes this into consideration, but puts it to the back of her mind, because she is now really excited, as she has earned the right to compete in the Victory Road tournament. Alright everyone, that's it for part 3. What do you guys think? How do you feel about Iris' team thus far? How do you feel about Iris' gym battles in this part, especially Drayden? And of course, the resurrection of Reshiram. Let me know in the comments below. I will see you in the next video.